half? What made it so difficult to get offense going?
I thought we didn't necessarily do what we had done in the first half to generate 59 points. We had 20 assists in the first half, 6 in the second. That definitely affects, the offensive side of the ball.
As things were kind of grinding down, especially in the fourth quarter there, what were you hoping to get, or what were you trying to get some buckets going?
I mean, we were trying to get them involved in some, single-side tag actions on the side pick and roll. We wanted to make them, the defense shift, move side to side a little bit. We just weren't able to execute there.
Andrew was scoreless, I think, in the second half. I mean, how can you try to get him going, I guess, a little bit more and get more out of him? We want to be aggressive. We'll continue to, stress that. And, we want everybody on this team to be aggressive and get into the paint and trying to create, if defense commits, that's where we're able to generate open looks. This is a heavy help team. So I thought in the first half we did a good job of generating some open looks there. But, we got to be better as a whole.
You somebody called a three for Covington out of a timeout that was successful. But overall, you guys shot 62s and 28 threes, which doesn't seem like your system. Was that were you trying to take what they were giving you, or was it just?
Yeah, that wasn't by any type of design. That wasn't by design. It was, I think a lot of it came in the second half. We didn't get a lot of open looks from three because we played later in the shot clock, which a lot of times, becomes a number of twos.
And then, did you play the Brogdon Sabonis pick and roll in the fourth quarter, especially in crunch time, the way you wanted to?
On a couple possessions, we did. On a number, we didn't.
When Gorgie was following or basically staying with Brogdon that entire time, is there any way to get out of that situation?
Yeah, we got to get a good level where our guard is into the basketball and fighting over the screen, and Sabonis sets good screens, we know that, but getting back in front is what helps get Gorgie out of there. But the way Brogdon was coming off shooting the ball, we had Gorgie up right there.
Today was the 9th straight game that Jarrett Culver scored in double figures. What have you liked about his improved offensive production? Yeah,
he's definitely been a bright spot, through some of these tough endings for us. And, I think his future is bright. The way he's been, getting his looks on the offensive end. I think he's being aggressive, getting to the basket. And then on the defensive end, he's showing a lot of growth, too.
You guys have been really adamant about trying to capitalize on 2-for-1 situations, and at the end of the game, it looked as if you had that setup to try and go for that. Was that just Indiana forcing you guys into having to wait a little bit longer, or what happened on that?
Yeah, they forced us into having to wait a little bit longer. But, yeah, we were trying.
With Andrew, are teams defending him differently kind of halfway through the season after the start he had, or are some of his struggles maybe a product of Towns being out and teams just being able to key in on him a little more?
Yeah, I think that's definitely a factor, and everybody defends things differently in this league. Some teams have a strict let-through policy on dribble handoffs. Some teams are going to war over top of all dribble handoffs. So, for the most part, he's seeing different types of coverages. But having Carl out that's a big piece that you're missing, and Andrew and other guys definitely benefit from the attention that he commands.
So that shift in opposing defenses, is that maybe why we haven't seen as many high pick and rolls for Andrew, or is it having a point guard on the floor, or just kind of wanting to go different directions on offense?
Yeah, it's a little bit of both. He's out of timeouts. We'll look to get into some of those actions, but it's playing both sides of the floor is something that we like to stress a lot.
You guys like to have the opponent work from the mid-range, and it's different when Sabonis is catching it on the roll there, but particularly in the first half, he's catching in the mid-range and then getting to the basket. Yeah. it did seem like your defense allowed him to catch it there. Is that by design? Do you want it to have more of a tag there? Why did the Sabonis part break down in the first half particularly?
I think part of it was, they're a team that runs a number of short actions where they'll send a player, usually a big, kind of to the strong side block, and if we communicate that properly, we should be able to get the 5-man back in line with Sabonis as he's rolling, and we wouldn't have to tag out of the single side corner, usually on the left side, and we had trouble with that tonight, so it's definitely something we'll look at.
So not tagging was by design?
Yes.